What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is doing well. Celtics come away here with the second win in this mini-series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This one 116 to 107. They now advance to 12-0 at home on the season. We all know what happened last time the Celtics started 12-0 at home. That was the 07-08 year, and they won. You know what? Let me not speak too soon. Let's not jinx anything. But yeah, really solid win against a talented Cleveland team. The Celtics are now 18-5 on the season. But let's get to the game. I think it's only fair that we start with JB. Jalen had an interview the other week where he said he felt like he was playing the best basketball of his career, and I'm starting to see that. I'm starting to agree with that. Ever since that Milwaukee game, the stretch he's been on has just been phenomenal. If you're just looking at the surface level stats, the box score, the scoring, of course, that might be down this year, but that's because this team has so many offensive weapons. It's taken the load off his scoring, but that's not where he's gotten better. It's the other things. It's his off-ball movement. It's his cutting. It's his decision-making. We're getting a lot less of those careless turnovers, where JB puts his head down, dribbles into the middle of the lane, not knowing where he's going to go and loses the ball. He's cut those pretty much in half this year. And it's not only his decision-making with his dribbling, it's his passing. He had 4 assists last game, 5 tonight, and he could have had at least 3 more. And on the other end of the ball, we're getting closer to that third, fourth year Jaylen Brown defense. It seems to be much more locked in and focused. Overall, I'm just really happy where Jalen is at with this team right now. He seems to be fitting in his role so well. It's condensed, but he's making the most of it. He really jump-started us into this game tonight. He finished the game shooting 50% from the field, 22 points. It was great to see him scoring on all 3 levels. I think it's great when he gets those mid-range fadeaways. He's able to create so much space. It's just it's not an easy shot for anybody else in the NBA, maybe a handful of people, but it's an easy shot for Jaylen Brown. While we're on 1J, we might as well talk about the other. So let's talk about Tatum. In the first quarter there, I thought it was interesting. I thought we saw the ball in his hands a lot. There's a lot of point Tatum. His stats really don't show it, only finished with 3 assists, but I thought he made a lot of good decisions there in those spots, not only there in the first quarter, but throughout the game. And that's just really promising to see. I'm sure you guys remember a couple weeks ago, that Memphis game, he had 8 turnovers. The Atlanta game, he had 6. The Philly game, he had 7 turnovers, so it was great to see him coming back around in his playmaking and his passing. He didn't only have a good decision-making game tonight, he had a good all-around game. Again, if you look at the shooting stats or the shooting splits, it doesn't look fantastic, but the fourth quarter tells the whole story. Going to the fourth there, this team was up 5 or 4 points. I was like, okay, this could be a tough one for them to close out. Let's see how it goes. Tatum had other plans, though. He came in right away, and he started taking over. He hit that fall away in the mid-range. That was a tough fall away. He hits that 3, and then he baited Darius Garland in transition there for that block, and then he continued to be aggressive and got to the free throw line. Like I said, a good overall game from Tatum. It's always nice knowing your superstar can come in the fourth there and just close out the game. And then he had an interesting interview after the game where he basically said, this team still has levels to go. We're not even close to where we could be. We have not reached our potential yet. He said, this team will be able to do more by each of us doing less. And I think what he meant by that is, guys learning to pick their spots, guys really knowing their role. Once they get comfortable with that, then this team will be at its height. I couldn't agree with him more, and I'm happy that's the message. And I'm happy that's the message the superstar of the team is pushing, especially when he, at the top of the food chain, is willing to buy into a role himself. If he's willing to buy into a role, then everybody else underneath him or, with him should be able to fall in line too. I also agree with that this team hasn't reached their full potential, and they're probably not close. Yeah, this team, when their starting 5 is healthy and their top 6 are there, they are 12-1. So it's a scary thought to think, okay, after the All-Star break or around the All-Star break, what will this team look like? I don't want to put a prediction on it, but I don't like making predictions in general, but I will. I think if this team is healthy, they're going to win 66 games this year. They're gonna replicate that 07-08 team, 66-16. That's my prediction for the record this year, if there's no significant injuries. Let's do an Al Horford appreciation segment because it's hard to believe what he's doing at age 37. At age 37, he's coming in off the bench, being this team's energizing bunny. He's getting boards, defensive, offensive. He grabbed a bunch of offensive boards tonight, helping us get second chance opportunities. I don't know if this bench thing, maybe he got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder now, but he's coming in the game with a little bit of pep in his step that I just hadn't seen in the years previous. He just stays ready. Porzingis checks out with a minute to go. Al comes in. Al splashes a corner 3 to really seal this one. Again, super impressive. He stays ready. He lives for big moments. And on the other end of the ball, he's able to hold his own against these younger bigs, and on the switches against these guards. Not saying he can guard these shifty guards. Of course, he can't, but he's able to hold his own so well. Al Horford, never age, Father Time can't get you. Since we just played the Cavs, a lot of this is redundant. I don't want to bore you guys, so let's move on to the quick hits. Something I've been calling for all year. We got real Lamar Stevens minutes. Not garbage time like he got earlier in the season. He got a quick stint earlier in the year, but tonight, real burn. He got first half and second half minutes. First half was a little bit rough, picked up 3 quick fouls, but overall, I thought he held up well. He made some good cuts. He made some good hustle plays. And for most of the time he was out there, we saw him on Jarrett Allen. So if Joe trusts him to guard Jarrett Allen, I mean, that just shows his defensive versatility, or at least the potential of it. If there are any Cavs fans listening, it would be nice to know like a good player report on Lamar Stevens. You guys watched him more closely than I have, so just let me know in the comments below. Something I love tonight, something I love every night, is Sam Hauser. He was just an absolute sniper again. 3 for 3 from behind the arc. He just on a tear this year. And what makes it more impressive than last year was, last year was more spot up, but this year he's doing it in different ways. He's coming off screens hard, putting up shots quick. He's hitting sidestep threes and then the old catch and shoot. He's totally surpassed my expectations for him this season in that contract, that 3 years, $5 million. I mean, if he plays like this the whole year and the Celtics go on a deep playoff run and he holds up throughout the whole thing, he's going to play himself into most underpaid player, because you got a player down there in Miami and Duncan Robinson who they're similar players who makes 19 million to Sam's 1.8. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Drew was Drew tonight. I was happy with the way he played. He's coming back into his form. I think he's looking like the Drew we all expected we'd get. D White was D White, Mr. Reliable. And on the Cavs end, Donovan Mitchell always impresses me. His shiftiness, his ability to change speed, his explosiveness. And sticking on the Cavs, I think their problem when going against a team like the Celtics, it's just this simple: is the Celtics have Jayson and Jalen, and the Cavs don't have anybody who could hold up even remotely against Jayson and Jalen. I mean, you guys spent the money on the wings this summer. You got Strus, you got Niang, you did what you had to do. You upgraded that position, right? But those just aren't the wings that could hang with the Jays and that end of the ball. I mean, imagine if the Cavs had like a Vando or like a McDaniels. It would be a completely different story, but it's hard to just come by those players. But anyways, we have a back-to-back tomorrow, Orlando, and another mini-series with them. We play them 2 games in a row. We play them tomorrow, and we play them Sunday. Can we finally beat them? I mean, I don't know. They give us a lot of trouble. I've been seeing some wild things in Orlando Magic Twitter. So, I mean, I hope we could just beat them. So just to quiet everybody down a little bit. That being said, I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. It's the best and easiest way to support. I'm here after every single Celtics game, all 82 plus. I'm not going anywhere. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, Friday, December 15th. Orlando, peace.